What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the ITP Paladin. So the recording day of this video is on a Sunday, which is something I normally don't do, but so something kind of exciting happened. This is going to be a response to, I don't know if he's called Major, I don't know if he had a name change at some point or something like that. As I understand, his name is Kajor, and that's how I knew him from the start. Apparently his name is like Major Midget or something. I don't know. The point being is that I couldn't know him by Kajor right now, and that's who we're referring to. So he put out a tweet recently. I made a video on that tweet, but the tweet read basically like, give me your hot takes on the game of Overwatch. And I decided, you know what? Let me just put my opinion out there for, whatever reason. Just try and see if I can, put in one of my opinions and whatnot. So one of my opinions, let me see if I can find the exact tweet word for word. Was it put in a response? Maybe. Shoot. It might be in a response. It might not actually show up on my timeline. Tweets and replies. There we go. Kajor. Here we go. Post your hot takes down below. Making a video on hot takes depending on the amount he gets. He got 40 responses. Okay, so now my chances went up at that point. So I put in the comment section that Echo and Hamster are OP and broken as shit and need to be removed from the game. I'll settle for just Ball, though. That was my specific tweet. So he put it in the video. To make a very, awesome situation even more awesome is that I was watching the video like, is he going to put my comment in? I really want him to put my comment in. Screw it. Let me just watch the video. So I watched it, 20 plus minutes. He finally gets to the category, which is, by the way, he saved for the end of the video to mention my comment. And I'm like, okay, let me listen. Nothing. And at one point I was like, I mean, it's okay. If he didn't get my comment, then just as I thought that, ITP Paladin says, "What the?" I was ecstatic for like 2 seconds. Like, he mentioned it. He mentioned my name, and he mentioned my tweet. And funny thing he gave it a 7 out of 10 because I was actually I think if I understood the rating system correctly, it was kind of right. So let me get on to the purpose of this response, and I'm not trying to like mimic his style and keep it quick, but it doesn't really require that long of an explanation. So essentially, I put in my tweet, as you heard, that Echo and Ball were broken and OP. In my personal opinion, I believe that. Now, a quick note before I even get into this explanation, I am a gold-ranked DPS player. And if anybody has actually watched my streams or know the heroes that I play, they would know that there is kind of an annoyance when it comes to those two in particular for the heroes that I play. I play primarily Soldier, Reaper, McCree, Tracer, and Widowmaker as my main picks. So you can already kind of tell that two of them may be able to handle the Hamster, but and maybe like 2 or 3 of them might be able to handle Echo, but Echo's hitbox, just to name her real quick, is like very hard, and you have to be able to aim in the first place, and if you're having trouble aiming, if you're off by just a little bit, you're just going to be shooting empty air. So suffice to say, it's not even just about that, but I just wanted to throw that out there that my heroes don't necessarily have a problem targeting those heroes. But I'm going to mention my reasons why I picked them in particular for this tweet. And just to kind of explain it, because he mentioned that Echo's balance change made her more balanced, and that Ball is a very oppressive hero. So he kind of agreed on the Ball issue, but I wanted to just give my explanation as to why, because this was a shorthand tweet. If I could have put like a long-ass explanation explaining why I don't like these heroes, I would have just gone the mile and said screw the inch and just go off on it. So the reason that I hate them has nothing to do with the lore perspective, has nothing to do with that. It has to do strictly with a game aspect. So here's how this works. So let's start from the beginning that Hamster was introduced before Echo. Echo was the last introduced hero, and they've both been around a while since their release. And ultimately, I think they're broken, not for the reasons that people mention. So let's just start with Echo and like go off on her, because as much as I hate her, I don't hate her as much as Ball. Ball is like my #1 hated hero in the game. And it's kind of amazing because it used to be Diva. More or less for the same reasons, but I'll get to that in a bit. So just to explain Echo, it's not that I believe that she's broken. I definitely think she is a little overpowered, and it's going to be kind of mixing in with Ball in just a little bit, but the main aspect of why I think that she's broken is because with every hero, it doesn't matter if there's a high risk, high reward type of hero where, you know, their abilities are super strong, but they're also super weak to kind of compensate it for it. Like, let me just mention Soldier. Soldier's my number one main hero. And just to talk about one of his abilities, where I could go off on the whole kit, he is not a bad hero, but he's a good introductory hero if you've played first-person shooters, and in fact, he is base level, one of the easiest heroes that's not mechanically demanding. What he is demanding on is aim. He's a very aim-dependent hero. So for him, he has his ultimate tactical visor, which gives you aimbot. And immediately right there, some people would be like, well, there you go. That's a strong ability. Then you never played a day of Overwatch in your entire life, or you're in bronze and you don't know how to handle shit. And the reason I say this is because if anybody actually played the game, they'd know that tactical visor is one of the weakest ultimates in the game. Now, whether or not that's subjective, I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's universally agreed that it's one of the weakest, along with High Noon. And the reason being is because, yes, it gives you aimbot. But the downsides to this aimbot, even though you can aim, is that you have to maneuver your reticle still to get the preferred target in certain instances, in certain team fights, which can vary, so it can be hit or miss. But it doesn't grant you critical hits. It only grants you body shots, meaning that you have to use the full magazine. You still have to reload, which is not as big a problem as it may seem, but it could be easily denied with a barrier. All it requires is a barrier. And then, even worse, is the fourth one, that it targets center of mass, meaning that if you're poking out but your shoulders, like if you're hidden behind a wall but your shoulders poking out, it won't aim for you. But Torbo and Sturret will do it. So his tactical visor is not bad. It is one of the worst. It's not by any stretch of the imagination the strongest unless it's in combination with certain abilities. Like if you have a Sombre EMP or a Nano Boost or pretty much anything that can combo with it, then it'll become useful. But standalone, it's very situational, especially if the enemy team has something to counter it. So when it comes to Echo, let's go back to her for a minute. Just naming off her ultimate ability, like, her ultimate ability is so strong, and before the nerf, like, this was definitely something that she needed. But post-nerf, or pre-nerf, excuse me, she was essentially a get-out-of-jail-free card hero that you could literally play every hero. You get to use every ultimate in the game at a faster rate during a period of time. And if you were Tracer, it's actually been seen in the pro play and even average play for hyper-aggressive players. You can get off, if you mimic Tracer, you can get off like 3 pulse bombs before the end of it. That's like 3 insta-kills if you're diving a backline and nobody contests you, which, by the way, happens more often than you would think. But if you did copy that hero, let's just say for 2 seconds, if you were about to die, if you were at 1 HP and all you needed to do is get sneezed on to die from COVID, whatever, the common cold, the flu, I don't care, like, you just hit your ultimate. And that transformation gave you invincibility. And then you would transform into that hero. And that hero would be at full HP. And I used the example of Tracer, but now name the entire roster, and God forbid they copied a tank. Now you just got down a 200 HP hero down to 1. Then they got a full health bar on top of that for the hero that they copied, which could be as low as Tracer, Diva, like, not even Baby Diva, but Diva, no doubt. Would still count on both ends of the spectrum, but if you copied like a Tracer, it's 150 HP, to Diva, Hammond, anyone who's at 600 HP. Now you have to deal with 200. You just killed 1 hero's worth, just so that now you have to deal with another hero that may be 3 heroes worth, or just 1 hero, or a little less than 1 hero. And then once you got rid of that, you had to deal with another hero. Like, her ultimate was so stupid strong, and her abilities to combination made her like I don't doubt it's fun to play her for the people who enjoy her, but it's not fun to play against, especially when you deserve the kill and she's able to get that get out of jail free card twice, because she not only escapes death the first time, when you kill her off that second time, if you survived the onslaught of ultimates that she could throw out like freaking cash at a strip club, then you had to deal with her a third time, where now she would have her full abilities off of cooldown. Who introduced this bitch? This is me going off. I think I got a little unhinged, and I'm sorry for the excessive cursing. I shouldn't be doing that. But now we come to Hammond. So as I was mentioning before, she's getting get out of jail free cards. Hammond might be mechanically challenging in this instance, but here's the true reason that I hate him. He is truly one of the most annoying heroes to play against, because even with his abilities and the supposed, if you have a combination of crowd control abilities with your team, then you can counter him very easily and shut him down. You've obviously never played in the low ranks, where even when you're communicating with your team, this hero is basically just going in and getting free value. If I really wanted to play Hammond, I could probably climb up to about Diamond before plateauing, and I'm a gold player right now. This hero can be countered by crowd control, but there's a major issue even when you have crowd control, because I sometimes switch off to McCree. He's one of my played heroes. He has crowd control. Heck, I'll even go to Reaper, who doesn't necessarily have crowd control, but he is a tank buster among my playlist of heroes. So if I need to play either of the two against the Hammond, that's not a problem, because it'll burst him down pretty quickly and cause him to panic. His mobility is one of the fastest in the game. And he has an ability for the adaptive shields that doesn't grant you ult charge. If he's stupid enough to dive in by himself, you should be able to kill him and get full value for it, but you don't get any value if he puts on his barriers, which, by the way, with his speed means you can't catch him. So you have to hope to kill him right there, and then his grappling hook most of the time is off of cooldown, so he goes in, does his pile driver, starts shooting at you. He does more damage than he probably should. His minefield is literally like the most confusing thing that I've ever faced off of, because you hit one, and all of a sudden 3 around you explode even though you're nowhere near them. Or maybe I'm just delusional. I don't know. The point being is that it's the same thing as Echo. It may be fun to play, but it's not fun at all to play against. You have to base your entire composition around stopping him from getting value. You have to. It's not a question, and that's in the lower ranks. Now, my annoyance with him is also his existence. Forget the gameplay aspect. His existence is stupid. Everything about his story is stupid. Everything about his character design is stupid. And yet, for some odd reason, the community loves him. And I've taken that as a sign, like, if the community loves him, he's either busted, stupid, or both. Nothing about him makes sense for this game. Like, I get, again, it might be fun to play, but this is an annoying-ass hero. And I stand by it that he needs to be removed from the game. And I used to think that Junkrat, Symmetra, even the Shimada brothers might have had to be removed from the game at some point. But at the same time, like, now I actually see, okay, those heroes, by comparison to what I'm mentioning right now, are actually not that bad. So I'm willing to deal with Genjis. I'm willing to deal with Hanzos. In fact, actually, I found it a lot easier to deal with them lately after correcting my own gameplay. Thank you for that too, Kajor. But that is the low-end explanation that I can give, just to kind of emphasize why I hate that hero. Hate those heroes and why they need to be removed from the game. So, all in all, I just wanted to quickly throw this out there. This is, again, Sunday, so I may or may not make another video before the weekend. Next weekend, excuse me. We'll figure out what the week brings, but all in all, that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you liked the explanation, and another shout out to Kajor for shouting me out in his video. Man, this guy's got great advice. You should definitely check him out if you're trying to improve your Overwatch gameplay or just understanding of Overwatch. He may not be the best content creator for it, but he is one of the top, and you should definitely check him out. And before I go, I should make a shout out to a sponsor, because I know I made the affiliation, and I haven't been able to grab myself a coffee yet because I'm still finishing up with the financial situation. But the moment that clears, and the moment that we pay off our bills, I'm going to be investing in getting my some of the coffee. I made an affiliation with Phineas Coffee. So far as I understand, everybody's liking it, and my wife has said good things about bourbon barreled roasted coffee that came from Colombia because it actually has a really smooth and decent taste. So I am going to definitely invest in that one when I get it, but I'm shouting them out right here. They are doing an affiliation program with a lot of different gamers, and they affiliated themselves with me. And I'll be putting out a more formal tweet later in the month when I actually get the coffee, but just want to shout them out. The link will also be in the description if you want to grab yourself a bag. It's specifically a gamer, made-to-order, gamer-oriented coffee. So definitely give that a check out and see if it's something that'll fit your guys' needs. Because once I get my hands on it, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. If the wife works at a smokehouse that sells coffee, and she's a big coffee addict, so I trust her opinion on this. So can't wait for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time I post, and just catch me on Glimish. Have a good night, everyone.